Coming up on this year-end edition of Cache Rendezvous.
I miss being around people.
How some low-risk individuals are using their good health to help others that are isolated.
I think women in general are tough.
What one Logan police officer had to overcome before she could go on patrol.
Yeah, you can win money at craps.
Why craps is more of a business than a hobby for some.
Pull up a raft and join us on this year-end edition of Cache Rendezvous. Welcome to this year-end edition of Cache Rendezvous. We're coming to you from the patio. I'm Eric Price.
And I'm Sarah Murphy. We're out here enjoying this beautiful weather, and it seems like the perfect time of year to have a wedding. Now, you've probably seen your fair share of weddings throughout this pandemic, but none quite as sweet as this one. Family and friends lined up in their cars and trucks at Charlie's Ice Cream for a Logan couple's wedding. The couple says COVID-19 made them change their wedding plans to practice social distancing, but they wanted to keep it sentimental. The bride decided they'd tie the knot where they had their first date, and both are happy with the results.
When I thought of our first date, I was like, oh, that will work perfect. Everyone can stay in their cars, there's space, they can go through the drive-thru, so I'm actually really happy about it. I get to have all my loved ones here still.
This is where we want to be and how we want it to be, and I'm very grateful to her for her imagination and thought process to put it all together, because it really has been an awesome experience.
After the ceremony, loved ones went through the drive-thru to have some Charlie's ice cream, and the couple enjoyed a little as well. The groom is from South Carolina, not sure how much of his family was able to attend.
That ice cream is probably worth the trip. Are you under the age of 65 without underlying health conditions? A local outreach program is giving people like you a chance to help those at high risk for the coronavirus in the community.
Walking her dog Baxter is all Geneva Hakala can do at her age to keep her interaction minimal.
I miss being around people.
Geneva enjoys walking Baxter, but says she loves to shop.
But I've discovered a lot of different ways to shop now that I didn't know were out there.
Pop your trunk and Walmart employees will do the rest. Through grocery pickup, you can buy what you need and keep your distance shopping. If that won't do, there's a new website that will help by putting people like Geneva in touch with people who can have social interaction.
We kind of operate just as making the match, and once we've made the match, it's up to you and the person you've matched with to kind of build and foster that relationship and determine the specific individual needs.
To volunteer or sign up for assistance on Helping Hearts Through Hands, all you need to do is hit sign up, select whether you're a low risk or high risk individual, enter your contact info, and click submit.
Loading his car with groceries, USU student Bailey Cross protects himself with gloves and a mask. He's not fond of taking extra precaution.
It's a little bit of a hassle, but you just need to go with it and be responsible, do your part. Although you may be low risk, you could affect somebody that is high risk.
If you want to volunteer or need help with errands, you can sign up from the link on our Facebook page.
A Logan police officer had to stop going on patrol a month after she got hired because of some news that changed her life. Reporter Lesya Feinstein joins us to show you what this officer had to overcome.
When you see police stopped in your community, they're usually there to help someone who's struggling. But you never know the struggles they could be facing themselves.
Officer Johnson is happy to be walking through these doors as a patrol officer again. A month after she got hired in 2018, she was stuck doing work inside the station. After her pre-hire physical,
I was at a training for school, and my doctor calls me from his personal cell phone number while he was on vacation.
Doctors diagnosed Johnson with stage 2 invasive ductal carcinoma, breast cancer.
Honestly, I said, I'm scared more than the chemo and the cancer. I'm scared to lose my job.
But the department quickly stepped in to help when Johnson needed it most.
Before this, I hadn't been part of any kind of, per se, work family.
I don't think there could have been a better place for her to go through this than with this department. Everyone here has been they've gone above and beyond for her.
When one of our officers is going through something, we really come together, and it is unifying for us.
Johnson has been in remission since September. Her loved ones describe her cancer fight with the same word, positive.
Watching her, I kind of learned a lot of things about just not being like a whiner and a complainer.
She faced it head on. She just kept a great attitude about it.
She's always been the rock of our family.
Just live your present, fight hard, do what you can, and keep that positive mentality. That can get you so much farther.
Most of the video you just saw was in the station, but now she's back out and doing what she loves, taking calls. I actually just saw her handling backup on a domestic dispute call. Lisa Feinstein, Cache Rendezvous.
Thanks, Lisa. Today is the 50th year the world celebrates Earth Day. In 1970, 20 million people around the country celebrated the first Earth Day, according to earthday.org. 25-year-old graduate student Dennis Hayes and Wisconsin Senator Gaylord Nelson organized the event to provide a voice to what they called an emerging public consciousness about the state of our planet. Today, USU graduate student Anthony Whaley owns a composting company and says it helps people have less impact on the environment.
Composting helps the environment because it keeps essential plant nutrients out of the landfills, and it allows them to be reused in our local agricultural systems.
Whaley says when people compost their food, it helps them realize how much they are using and leads to wasting less.
My mom is a huge supporter of composting, so it's something that my family and I have done throughout my entire life.
To see how you can start composting from home, visit the link on our Facebook page.
A new COVID-19 restriction made for a lot of free Go-Gurt. McDonald's couldn't sell their Go-Gurt orders, so they let nonprofits like the Family Place hand them out for free.
Thanks for coming.
Captain America, Spider-Man, and Superwoman greeted families at the curbside of the Family Place. Employees handed out boxes of Go-Gurts provided by Schreiber Foods while families stayed in their cars.
And boy, to have somewhere to go and something to do on a Saturday morning is a gift in and of itself.
They also had photo ops with those superheroes.
Be like, just sitting in your house all day isn't good for you.
Coming up, we'll show you some ways to get out and active during this pandemic.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to the patio. Many outdoor areas and hiking trails in the valley have been more crowded than usual. Ducks and geese aren't the only things crowding the shore at First Dam. With the weather being so nice and local playgrounds closed, people are flocking to First Dam to get a break from being stuck inside.
So much more people. Like every time I come here, it's packed, but everyone's in their own little spots though, so everyone's 6 feet away.
While birds don't practice social distancing, the people here are. Whether they are picking up trash, fishing on the docks, or paddling off into the sun. The parking lot stays full most of the day with people loading and unloading their toys to use at the dam. It was nice seeing that lady pick up trash so close to Earth Day.
It's true, and speaking of Earth Day and getting out and appreciating nature, First Dam is a pretty popular spot for people to go to when the weather is nice. Now, you've seen people at First Dam practice social distancing, but Nathaniel Gillis joins us from Arkansas to show us how people there are getting out while doing it too.
That's right, I'm here in Bentonville, Arkansas, which locals refer to as the Mecca for cyclists, and many people have been taking advantage of it. Christina Derrick bikes 3 times a week to get her exercise, whether on paved sidewalk or off-road. She says it is important to get outside during the pandemic.
Just sitting in your house all day isn't good for you. Desk jobs, like you want to get up and you want to move around, like normally you do during a desk job.
Families are enjoying the local trails, and professional cyclists are happy about the extra time to train.
One of my favorite things is to explore, and since we're new here within the last year, that's great because there's lots to explore. So I've been doing like at least one really big gravel adventure a week.
And biking isn't the only way to spend time outside.
Come on, make it.
These high school students are practicing skateboarding because of COVID-19. And one of them even practices 4 hours a day.
It's a lot less boring. I mean, I'd rather be doing that than sitting at home watching TV.
Doctors say you should spend at least 3 hours every day outside. These are a couple of the many ways that you can. Cache Rendezvous, Nathaniel Gillis. Back to you and Logan.
Thanks, Nathaniel. If hiking and biking aren't your speed, but you're wanting to stay outdoors, there's a way to kick it up a notch. Provo native Brett Butler says razor riding in Utah is becoming more popular during the pandemic. Without the pandemic, he wouldn't have discovered new places to ride.
Coronavirus has allowed me to explore some areas I normally don't have a chance to get out and see. Driving a little bit further to get to some of these areas.
Butler says he loves the country here in Utah, and his favorite place to ride is down in Moab. The CDC says going outdoors can improve overall health and wellness, and that certainly looked like a fun way to do that.
Those were a lot of ways to stay active during quarantine, but what if you want to or have to spend it inside? There's still a way to stay connected with your friends, and no, it isn't FaceTime. Hop online and play with friends. Gamers say Xbox Live is a great way to stay in touch with their buddies.
Xbox Live is definitely one of the better ways to communicate during the pandemic. It's really easy to use. Everyone has access to it. And if not, you can download the Xbox app on your phone.
Microsoft says to expect longer load times on Xbox Live because there's been such an increase of online gamers.
Gotta love all that grease.
Coming up after the break, we'll show you how to make a simple Dutch oven dinner.
And I'll show you how one roll of the dice can win you $100.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. Yeah. It was the...
Is that bacon? You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
After 15 years of smoking, Eva Marie quit. There's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. This is a serious problem, but one we can solve. Visit feedingamerica.org to help. Together we can solve hunger. Together we're feeding America.
Welcome back. With school almost over and summer on its way, you can pull out your camping gear and head for the mountains. Shay Densley joined us to show you how to make his favorite camping dinner.
Now that I'm here at the base of Blacksmith Fort Canyon, I'm ready to get cooking. All right, so I'm gonna take this charcoal and fill the chimney to the top. Then I'm going to light this paper on fire with my torch, and I'm going to set the chimney on top of it, let the flames light it all, and in about 15 minutes, the coals are nice and hot, and then they're ready for me to pour onto the ground. All right, so now that I have my Dutch oven, I'm gonna put it right here in the middle of the fire, and I'm gonna put in some of this bacon. I'm gonna use my spatula here to swirl this all around. And then now I'm ready to put the lid on top and move around some of the coals because I don't want it getting too hot. All right, let's go ahead and check on our bacon. It's been about 8 minutes or so. Yeah, that's looking pretty well done there. All right. Stir that around real quick. Dump in my bag of onions. Give that a quick stir. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna wait for the onions to cook until they get kind of that clear brownish color. And then we'll be ready to add the potatoes and carrots. All right, now I did put a little bit more charcoal around and on top just because it was getting a bit cold. Let's see what we're looking at here. Oh yeah. It's looking great and smelling even better. It's about time now for those potatoes. Now, right now, just because it's been a little while, the potatoes look a little brown. That's totally fine, it happens. They will look nice and white when they're done. And then we'll put the whole bag of the baby carrots in as well. Give everything a quick stir. All right. Now we'll go ahead and put the lid back on and check on the potatoes in a little bit when they're all nice and soft. All right, so the potatoes are just about done. I'm gonna quickly add my salt and pepper in, give it a few more minutes. It's been about 15 or 20 minutes so far. These potatoes are looking done. And I think they're ready. Oh yeah. All right, let's go ahead and give a test bite here. It's perfect. It's not too hot. The carrots and the potatoes are nice and soft. Definitely my favorite thing to eat for camping. Gotta love all that grease. Shay Densley, Cache Rendezvous.
Shay would be a good person to have around the campfire.
I agree, and in the house I'm definitely not the best cook, but maybe if I follow Shay's recipe the next time I go camping, I might get a little bit better. Professional craps players say it's possible to beat the house if you treat the game as a business. We're joined with our own craps player, Caden Anderson, to tell us a little bit more about the game.
Thank you for having me. So I talked to a tournament winner and a gaming pro, and they both agreed playing craps like a business is the way to go.
6 to 8. That's looking better.
Craps is a game of chance. Shooters and players bet a certain number will appear before the number 7 is rolled. If it comes up before the point number, all shooters and players lose their bets.
Of course. Oh, Lady Luck is not on our side. So you can win money at craps if you don't do that.
7 is not always a bad number. If it's rolled first by a new shooter, anyone on the pass line wins their bet. Professional players say understanding how to bet is just one way to win.
You got to follow a strategy, follow what you've learned, and bet those strategies and know when to quit. You'll win more often than you lose. And there's people that are professional craps players, and that's how they make their money.
One of these people is Tony Leo, the gaming pro. Leo wants to help others make money in the casino.
I've always been a teacher, and I created winners in the martial arts field, and now I'm creating winners and teaching people how to win in the casinos. So it's a teaching. I love helping people that way.
Professional dice throwers say to always keep your eye on your landing zone and to have a consistent throw, and you'll have a winning game.
Hard 6. Point is 6.
There are many different tips that new players can use, but Anderson and Leo say,
if you play with purpose and you treat it like a business, so you got to kind of set the fun stuff aside.
If you're playing craps for fun, you're not winning any money.
Okay, Caden, can you tell us how much exactly have you made from playing craps?
In the past 6 months, I've probably made close to $1,000 playing craps. Probably would be more, but since the casinos are closed due to the coronavirus, I can't play. If you want to learn more about craps, visit the Gaming Pro Tony Leo's YouTube page. You can find the link on our Facebook page.
Thank you, Caden. The Society of Professional Journalists awards college students from all over for their work. Our own reporters won in a list of categories. In the television sports reporting category, Adam Larson won for his story about trash car racing. And in broadcast news videography, Brandon Dean won for the story about a new bike park in Logan. Some of this year's staff were finalists across 4 categories. Last year's staff had 4 wins and 3 finalists across 8 categories. Congratulations, guys.
Thanks for joining us for this edition of Cache Rendezvous.
You can find all the latest editions on our Facebook page.
We'll leave you with some shots of First Dam.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
They gave me Vicodin after my knee surgery. They kept prescribing it, so I kept taking it. I didn't know it would be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look,